Hi, how's it going? Just wanted to let you guys know that sometimes like the chat and my response may be delayed, so sorry if I answer questions or reply a bit late to anything. But yeah, hey Quinn Decker. I am just working on this environmental piece. One of my goals for 2026 is to just get better at drawing backgrounds, trying to use them as modes of storytelling, of course. Let's see. There we go. So I'm doing a scene set in coastal Maine right now for one of my characters' backstories. But yeah. Let's see. Where was I? Yes, the sky. So one of my main references, where was it? Is old Disney. So trying to see how they did things. Obviously, they did everything, what do you call it, like analog with paint, but I am trying to replicate a certain texture here. They had like very subtle clouds, but uh-oh, was I on the wrong layer? No, it was not. Hello, river. Oops, I did not realize I was using a different brush than last time, but it's okay. I actually like how this one blends a bit. Let's see. Let's go back to this brush. If you guys have any questions for me or anything, like I'd be down to answer stuff. So I don't know if oh wait, no, I did not post about this, but basically I've decided that I kind of want a bit of a break from mainstream social media unless it's like just actively posting something. I realized that, you know, scrolling has not really been conductive to my artistic practice whatsoever, and that I feel like a lot of my art recently has been centered around like what I think people would like rather than what I actually want to draw for myself. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I will still like probably post a few stories, but then I'll delete the app. But mainly my communication will be through through the web browser version. Let's see. Yeah, I did want to also incorporate like I guess my own personal style into background design because I realized that when I've done backgrounds previously, I would always try to fit into somebody else's style, but why not have a little bit of cross hatching here and there? Oopsie. 1 second. Well, alright. There we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. Alrighty, now I'm back actually. You said that I've done that. Okay, I'm reading the chat. I've done that for a few months now. 11 out of 10 would recommend. You're not a product to be marketed. You're an artist expressing creativity. Thank you so much. Yes, that's very affirming. Yeah, I've just been feeling a bit down recently about not about like my art not getting traction, but I've been feeling guilty for just posting like mostly just art of Harding recently and not much of like my OCs anymore, which I do want to get back into my OCs. But yeah, I feel like I feel like there is a lot of pressure to just constantly be online, and it's been frying my brain. Of course, this is also like a period where I just really want to take care of my health. But yeah, like if anybody has tips for just like digital detox, like let me know. Like I'm down. Go. Social media is meant to do that. It's meant to make you feel bad. Yeah, like I posted recently, like I know there's just billions of dollars going into finding ways to keep people hooked, and I'm just like, ugh, that's just gross to me. I don't want to participate in that. Like I realize it's just also been very distracting from real life in general recently. Like I have a pretty vibrant real life, but I want to be more present than I've been, I think. To make it a little more atmospheric. If I turn that off, yeah. There we go. I think one thing that I also want to do this year is actually keep a consistent planner. Like I have a journal where I just write down ideas occasionally, but even then I'm not consistent with that. But this is the year where I build healthy habits because I realized it's been creeping. The fact is that's been creeping up me is that I'm going to college in like, well, actually 7 months now. And I need to actually lock in lest I be completely ruined by that time. Yeah. Get yourself some really close friends who are going constant feral for your art. Yeah, no, that's actually really good advice. I do have a few friends IRL like that. I appreciate it. And I appreciate like people like you who'll join my streams or just like talk to me casually. Like I don't want to like whenever I post on my story or anything, it's always very curated, very like I'm always proofreading, trying to sound more professional. But I feel like that's not exactly me. I try to be very open-ended and friendly. You know what I think this needs? It needs a little bit of color jitter. Color jitter, change brush tip color. Let's see. Let's try that. Oh wait, no, that's not it. 0, randomized per stroke. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Let's try maybe like 15 or 16. There we go. Yeah, that makes it look a lot more dynamic, I would say. I'm a big fan of color jitter and color mixing. It gives it more of a traditional feel because obviously... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me read what's happening. Hank Green's Focus Friend app. Ooh. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. Yes, I do. Like, full transparency, I have ADHD, and I am currently, like, working through it. So I'll definitely take a look into that. Yeah, no, social media is just definitely bad for people like us. Let's see, boom. There we go. I'm very fascinated by subtle color shifts. But yeah, actually, social media is just one of the reasons why I have not been drawing as much recently, and I'm like, always, I know I'm always apologizing for that. Like, oh hey, sorry guys, it's taking me forever. Yeah, no, it's just because I get home and I scroll for a bit, and then it makes me feel very worn out. Just takes all my energy to actually do creative stuff, and I'm like, whoa, like the billionaires want me to be distracted. Let's see. You have autism and ADHD, so you can clock a fellow ADHD person. Yes, I feel you. Many such cases on that. Yeah, me with all my, 50 billion projects and all my OCs with a dozen different tangents that I want to go on about them, but then I can't because it would take me forever. Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't turn down the values on that one. Yeah, now it's looking a little more atmospheric. There we go. It's pretty good sky for now, I think. And hyperfixation on one certain president kind of clued me in. Aw, yeah, he's He's my favorite. I don't even have to say his name. It's just so funny that he's just really unknown for the most part. I feel like it makes it a lot more fun to actually find information about him because I'm like, oh wow, this is not easily accessible information. I feel like I accomplished something by finding this. But yeah, no. I wish I could turn on my camera now and show you guys my collection of just memorabilia in the background, but it's there. Just know that. Honestly, not bad. Background art is tricky, but alas. So what I've noticed about, hold on, wrong reference. Like stuff like Disney is that like some of the stuff is lined out, but then other aspects aren't, and the painting itself is actually really loose. But I kind of want to go for a more painterly look because like some like older Disney does not have as much line work on it. Like my reference I believe is from like the 80s and 90s right now, but yeah. Sorry, another tangent. So I think we're gonna work on the ocean for a little bit. I'm kind of bored with the sky. Now I guess it's because it's like cloudy and stuff. I kind of want to like try a grayer ocean, but I also, again, I'm someone who likes a lot of like colors in my work, even if it's supposed to be more monochrome. So I think we're just gonna work with this. You know what? This brush is not cutting it for me right now. It's way too soft. Implied details do more for your background. Yeah, that's why I just love texture because it does imply a lot of the detail. Let's try this crayon brush. You know, actually one of my favorite physical mediums are crayons. I think it actually is my number one physical medium. What's interesting, yeah. What's interesting about like some of the Disney stuff is that they do seem to be like mixed media. I've been looking into like what they historically use, and it seems mostly along the lines of acrylic or gouache or watercolor. So I guess I can kind of do whatever I want. It's my background. Like I don't even have to copy their style. Low key, I should keep everything separate into layers so I could try it like a parallax effect animation. That'd be pretty cool. Interesting. So like it gets darker as it goes outwards, but we're gonna try that in a second. I do like the crayon look for this, and I kind of wish I could do that for the sky. I might go back and change the sky up in a little bit, but that's the problem for me in like 5 minutes. Once I get this done. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna ramble a little bit more. So like career-wise, I've been kind of obviously considering these things lately, especially as I've been trying to choose my major. But part of me just really wants to go into concept art and maybe like a subset of set design. But it's obviously every field is competitive right now, and it's kind of scary. So I feel like I have to like put in a lot of extra legwork to really get my art up to industry standard. Especially because I committed to a school like that's known for fine arts rather than like entertainment stuff, so I'm kind of worried about that, but I think I'm gonna make it work. And the reason why I chose that school obviously is because I love the city it's in. I love the network, honestly, and I am interested in fine arts. I really want to experiment more, yeah. And they have a very open curriculum. It's like at other schools, especially like the ones centered around entertainment, you just don't get as much freedom. But yeah, let's do another layer. Now we're gonna desaturate it as we go backwards. Ooh, but there's like fog on that one, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Look up some of my friends' art real quick, what she does for backgrounds. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Accidentally closed out an important tab. Ah. Okay, no, actually seems like my friend, yeah, does even more implied detail than I thought. Like when I actually look at things close and how she texturizes. That's really interesting. Honestly, yeah, valid. Oh yeah, no, her oceans are very blocky, I would say. Let's see. I mean, okay, I'm reading the chat again. I mean, what do you do what you want because things are so unpredictable right now. Yeah, exactly. I'm like literally YOLO. That's genuinely my mentality on most things. I'm a really YOLO person. Like I don't want to like wake up in like 60 years and be like, oh, I completely regret this. Like, why didn't I just choose art in the beginning anyways? Like, that's not going to be me. And I'm willing to make things work. I'm willing to, you know, live very frugally if need be. The world needs more art right now, for sure. Let's turn off that. Yes, I am liking how the ocean texture is coming along. I guess I'm going to work on like some waves crashing. I'm gonna fix the hue that way. Actually, you know what? No. Should I? I guess I could do the snow first. I think maybe doing the snow first would actually be a good idea before I like try to blend it in with the ocean. So that goes right here, I think, yeah. Separation of layers. Let's try this and let's randomize per stroke. 10. There we go. And then let's see if there's ink color mixing. Absolutely not. There we go. Oops. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm loving this crayon brush so much. Let's see if I can apply some, what do you call it? Some perspective with very minimal shading. As long as you find fulfillment, that's enough. Exactly. That's my philosophy. I hope my live stream is entertaining. I know I don't have any music this time. I got copyright struck last time I put music, so there's that. And most royalty-free stuff is a little bit I feel like every time I do backgrounds, I do it a little bit differently, which is fun because I want to experiment. I am a firm believer that you do not have to have like a very distinct art style. I like messing around quite a bit. Hatching is a very relaxing process for me, I cannot lie. Helps me focus, repetitive movements, genuinely help me get into a flow. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Then we're going to change the direction of the snow. Like that, yeah. Make the brush stroke shorter. Okay, I'm just here drawing too. Yay! That's nice. I love when other people are drawing while I'm on stream. Makes me feel less alone. Was I drawing on the right layer? Yes, I was drawing on the right layer. Good for me. Yes. I don't like the splotchiness of the snow, so I'm just gonna ignore that. It's interesting the value shifts. What does Disney do with it? Okay, their snow is shaded with a lot of blue, and I mean, I guess it's just reflecting the sky color. So let me color pick that. I'm just curious. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But their drawing's a little darker than mine atmospherically, so I'm just gonna pop that back up a bit. It's interesting how the ocean and the snow flow in a very similar way. I like that. Yes. Obviously, I'm very much inspired by Impressionist and Neo-Impressionist artists. I feel like a Van Gogh clone sometimes. Let's see. Turn that up a bit. Boom. That. But yeah. If anybody has any questions about, like, I guess myself or history or whatever, like, I'd be down to answer them while I draw. I know I couldn't really get to every question on the thing I posted on my story recently. I'll just yap. It's all good. Oh, okay, cool. I'm trying to think. I guess I'll yap about my plans for the near future. My birthday's coming up in about 3 weeks, February 22nd, so I'm excited for that. It feels weird to know that I'm turning 18 and that this is the beginning of, like, what I call the rest of my life. It is scary. I know it's not going to be a huge change at first, but, you know, it's a welcome change. I'll be able to open my own bank account and everything. Oh, hold on. Question in chat. I had a question about Harding, and I figured you may know. Was he ever associated with the NRSC? Because I know a lot of his allies and future cabinet secretaries were a part of it. So did he have ties to it? Let me think. National Republican Senatorial Committee. Sorry, I had to look up the acronym. My brain is, like, really bad with acronyms. I don't know if he was ever officially, like, part of it. But I just know that he worked with other, like, he worked for other Republican campaigns in general. That's what I'll say. I mean, it was founded in 1916, but, like, by then I'm pretty sure he was already a senator. But I just don't know, actually. Yeah, you know, that's a question that stumps me. I will definitely ask my research advisor about this because I'm actually now curious too. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, actually, on the topic of Harding stuff, I'm going to try. No guarantees for sure. I really want to go to the Harding Symposium sometime in, I believe, July or early August this year. They always have, like, apparently really good historian talks there, and I'm always, you know, geeking out over my heroes, I would call them. But actually, speaking of historians, back to career stuff that I was talking about previously, like part of me still like really wants to be a true history major and like go into academia and stuff. But I just didn't really have like the GPA to get into any like top what do you call it, like top liberal arts colleges or regular universities. I mean, I had good stats, but I just felt that like right now maybe this is just kind of my sign to just really go into art. And I mean, it's just I think I might enjoy it more in the end. I wanted to go to school for technical training, and I guess I could always get a history master's. But again, that's a problem for future me. I'm somebody who likes to think far in the future about things. That is, yeah, not my best trait. Ooh, I like these highlights. Man, why is painting so hard? Yeah, hopefully I was able to answer your question okay enough, Olive Garden. Quinn Decker says, I'm 23, so trust me when I say you got time and it's okay if you change your mind. Yeah, thank you. That's very assuring. It's very scary. Like, I'll give you guys some background. Like, my parents are healthcare workers, so like they just don't really know much about the art world. So it's literally been me trying to figure things out for like the last however many years I've been running my art account. But I'm glad that I just have the opportunity to get like education, what I really want to do. I know that it's expensive, but I feel very privileged to be able to take that opportunity. And obviously I'm going to like try to make the most of it. Okay, I think I know what's wrong with this. Snow does not usually clump up like this. So we're gonna... I was your age not too long ago. I completely understand. Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of being thrown out on my own right now. Like I have like the financial support, but everything else I actually have to really figure it out. And I know I have enough time, but it's creeping up. I think it's only like 200 days-ish until I actually move into school. Like, let me double check. And obviously I'm going to be moving across the country, so that's also a major change. Let's see. Olive Garden Lover 23 has a new message in chat. Let's see. I know he did spend a lot of time campaigning for the Senators in 1916. I headcanon that he blamed himself for the loss of Charles Evan Hughes. Ooh, that's interesting. I can see him doing that. Yeah, he was very self-deprecatory. He was a guy who wanted to, like, even if something was not his fault, I think he would somehow, like, try to blame himself for it. Just, like, he felt like that. I think, you know what? I think Harding would have really loved to have, like, a sign on his desk that says the buck stops here. He would have taken that from Truman if he could. Man, I love Harding. Sorry, like I know that's so obvious. It's just I think I'm way too much, and like not even a creepy way. It's just I'm like I feel so bad for him. Like he was just really optimistic about serving as president, and then like everything went wrong. Not everything, but still a lot of things went really wrong. He's just one of those guys that I'm interested in because he's not necessarily a great man, but he does still have a lasting impact on our country, just maybe in ways that we don't really see as obviously as in the legacy of like FDR, for example, like guys who took a lot more personal charge. Like I was talking to my research advisor and he called Harding a delegator in chief, and I'm like, ooh, I like that term for him because it is true. Like his philosophy is that he could trust the experts. That's why he has a cabinet. That's why any president has a cabinet, because he can't handle everything himself. And it just sucks that he just happened to choose some shady people. But like I posted, Albert Fall was like, I think Albert Fall is like the case where it's just like, oh, I'm really frustrated about that because
he was a very well-respected senator at the time. He was kind of like the political voice of the West, because he came from New Mexico, which was still a very new state. I don't know how new it was, but like not the most populated state, of course, then and today. But yeah, no, he was very well respected until Teapot Dome happened. I'm just like, dang. But yeah, shame he was brought down by others. Yes, exactly. Actually, Olive Garden lover, I will recommend to you that you actually read Harry Doherty's memoirs. They're just very fascinating if you're interested in the administration itself. He calls it the inside story, the Harding tragedy, and it does live up to the title. Doherty will go on rants about like how much he hates communism. And it's really funny because it's like, I'm like, bro, get back to the point. But otherwise, it's a really good book to like see the inner workings, even if they're embellished, and even though he tries to make himself look innocent, like I think you'll still learn about a lot about like the dynamic between cabinet members. Like Doherty actually hated Albert Fall. Like there's a whole section where he's like, oh, the newspapers are always like coupling me with him. It's like Doherty and Fall, but no, it's not Doherty and Fall. We're two separate people. Like we were not working together. Like we did not like each other, and I just thought that's funny. It felt very like high school girl drama. Yeah, that's just a very niche book. I would recommend to any Harding enthusiast. I think what else. Oopsie, where did I? If you're interested in Harding's like childhood, definitely read "Growing Up with the Warren Harding" by Jack Warwick. That's his childhood best friend. They started the Marion Star together, and he was editor for a while. No, literally, yeah. Oh my gosh, I wish the chat wasn't so what do you call it, like behind, because yeah, no, the girls are fighting. Oliver Unlever says, I feel like Fall probably manipulated him around early 1920 when he was at his lowest. Weeks out of Senate, Jacob Gallender had died, and Miles Poindexter's position like the soured after they both ran for president. Ooh, you know what? You do have a point there. Yeah. Yeah, Harding, like, for a guy who knew a lot about the world, because of his, journalistic career, I feel like he was still very naive in many ways. That's why I sympathize with him quite a bit. I wonder if I'll ever finish this article that I'm working on, but I started writing something about like Harding's religion, because he was like technically Baptist, but he never, I don't think he, like, yes, he went to like mass or church services. Like, do like non-Catholics say mass? I don't think so. But anyways, he would go to church service, but it seems like only when he was obligated to. He wrote to his brother, like, where he just about feeling doubts about his faith and stuff, and I find that like very humanizing of him, because a lot of times we see our presidents as like, oh, these infallible men with like very like strong certain beliefs, but then you have like a guy like Harding who's just very honest about pretty much everything, despite his scandalous cover up legacy. I do find him very honest. Like, he confesses things in love letters, he confesses things in like regular letters. He admits that maybe he wasn't the most qualified for this job, but like, who is? Like, the presidency is a big boy job, like bigger than most of us. And I like his honesty. But anyways, back to the religion. Yeah, it's interesting to see how I guess not like almost lukewarm he could be at times. But my article idea was basically about how I guess he defies his Protestantism, because Protestants believe in like faith over works to get yourself into heaven, or just to get salvation, when it almost seems like Harding was trying to do more works, or like seek approval from other people. Like, I feel like that just kind of defies his religion in a way. Real. But yeah, I guess like I started the article back in like I don't know, October, but I just never got around to it. I did have that first article up about the friendship between Harding and Hoover, and that's still one of my favorite pieces of writing so far. I love them. Their friendship is very underrated, obviously, because both of them are like two of the most hated presidents. I don't know how to feel about Hoover sometimes. He's a very fascinating figure. I guess he's like a more extreme version of Jimmy Carter in my opinion. Like where I think he's like he genuinely had his heart in the right place, but ooh, that management, those management skills during an actual crisis were not great at all. But you know, his post presidency seemed pretty normal. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, no, I like how Hoover, who's kind of known for being awkward and even like unemotional, like the I don't care kind of guy, was actually Harding's like one of his true confidants who gave him honest advice. Love Hoover, but Bohemian Grove. No, wait. What was? Okay, no. Hold on. I need to explain Hoover's connection to Bohemian Grove because I don't know about that. I know what Bohemian Grove is, and that's why I'm like surprised. Because it really just doesn't seem like something he would be interested in. He's just seemed like way too awkward and morally straight for these kind of things. Nah. Okay, I'll have to look into that. That was sorry. Just seeing those like two together, like very shocking for me. Yeah. I think the way Harding's friendship started with Hoover too really shows his character as like not what people expect him to be. Because I see people say that, oh, I always thought that Harding would be like the aggressive type, obviously because of how he looks, but also from what I've heard about this administration, like I thought he'd be a total scumbag. But Harding literally just offered his friendship and services to Hoover, who was totally a stranger back in 1917. And I'm like, and it was just on like some random night too. I'm like, wow, that's actually really nice of him. Okay, wait. I know you're elaborating. I know Coolidge went too, and that makes no sense to me. Yeah, I like if I had to make any connection between them and Bohemian Grove, I think it would be more of something like they were invited to like go tour it or go see something, but I don't think they would have taken part in anything like really suspicious. I need to find the source again. Actually, speak of Coolidge, I need to find this source again. But there was an interesting. I feel like I don't know if it's true. That's why I try to find the source. But there's an interesting like quote supposedly from Coolidge where he talks about like his social anxiety and how it relates to this incident about him as a child, where there were some relatives visiting and he he didn't want to go up to the door, and he felt like for the rest of his life every other social situation was like going up to that door again. Like let me find it because I want to read it and I want to I want to make sure it's true. Okay, I cannot find the quote, unfortunately. Dang it. But I'll update you and I will post about it if I can find it. Yeah. Any other history questions or anything, or things you guys want to discuss? Mm-hmm. Hi, Seagull. Oh my gosh. You are one of my favorite oomps, I cannot lie. Like, you are really cool and knowledgeable. So, hi. Okay, let's see. That's really interesting. I've never heard that before. It makes you think about Coolidge's family life, which is interesting within itself. Let me go to the Coolidge homestead this May. That's cool. I want to go so bad. I hope you have fun, by the way. Actually, I'm going to try to open up YouTube on my phone to see if I can answer questions faster. I know there is that delay for sure. Wait, why does not... Okay, there we go.
Oh, my internet. Thank you. I really appreciate the compliment. Of course. Honestly, like, I would love to like do a collab video with you sometime. I cannot lie. Like, you're cool. You're cool. Let's see, live stream. Yeah, a little more texture over here. You know, I do feel like this shade of blue does make it look a little more iridescent. I live in Ohio. I've never been to the Harding House, but I've been to the Grant and Taft ones. You are so lucky. Dude, I think Ohio's a very underrated state. I know, like, politically it's a swing state, but I think there are a lot of really cool things to see there, especially from, like, a history nerd perspective. Like, Ohio's just so relevant in American history. Even up to recently, yeah. I want to visit the Taft House, for sure, because I know he was rich. I want to see, like, what kind of, like, fancy stuff he had there. But that was, like, obviously across the state, so I couldn't visit during my trip to the Harding House. Why does something looks off here? 1 second. Okay, good. Dark Crisis goes. I'm just gonna get Dark Crisis goes back. Let's try that again. Yeah, I will say that, like, I think you would like the Harding House. It's adorable. Like, I know I always mention that, but it is really cute. My favorite thing about that place was seeing his hat on the front, not front desk, like this little table right by the front door. It was nice to see that, like, the hat and his cane and, like, a couple newspapers that were just kind of scattered. It literally felt like he just left, and it's like, oh, I felt like really connected. Oh, so you live in, so it's in Cincinnati, which is a very good city for history buffs. Yes, I want to go so bad. I know my friend Julia, Dust Vacuum Cleaner, she went recently and she liked it. All Red and Lover 23 says, I wish there were more presidential stuff in Massachusetts. Maybe I've just been to all of them so many times, but, like, there's not that many. Yeah. Same with California. Like, we only have two major things here, the Nixon and the Reagan, and I just, like, went to both very recently. So, and flight tickets are very expensive, so I do kind of wish we had more here. And I know it sounds crazy coming from, like, someone who lives in a major city, but, yeah. There's actually a mall, near me that's unfortunately a very dead mall, and it is at risk of, like, I think they might be demolishing it or, like, turning into something else, but, JFK actually spoke there once, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to save this mall by getting the JFK fangirls to donate for renovations and, like, marketing. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. It is allergy season for me, even though it is January, because it is very hot here. It is 82 degrees, and it feels like spring and summer again. I am somebody who's not the biggest fan of warm weather whatsoever. I really do love snow, even if I get snowed in or anything. It's weird. It's like reverse seasonal depression, I would say. Let's see. Boom. Not sure if there's any president stuff in Minnesota. Yeah, no, I'm not sure either. I don't think we've had a president from there yet, yeah. But the Midwest in general has pretty cool stuff, and it all seems to, like, be pretty accessible, from what I know. What does this one do? See how the waves crash here. Yeah, okay. I do love seeing the waves blend into the snow. That's very fun. I don't know if you guys were here at the beginning of the stream, but I said I'm drawing, like, a scene in coastal Maine. No specific location. I just wanted to evoke the vibes. But speaking of Maine, I'm actually going to be visiting my half-sister there in June, which will be pretty fun. It'll be nice and warm, and it'll
probably be humid, but it'll still be kind of an escape from like the dreadful California summers. But I'm very excited to go to Maine because that means I get to do like some environmental, not environmental, like just background research for my OC, Madison Mayfair, who's from Maine, and he is my presidential OC. Let's see. No presidents from Minnesota, but Hubert Humphrey. Oh, okay, interesting. I need to you know what? I need to really get caught up on vice president lore. Unfortunately, I'm just not as knowledgeable whatsoever, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like it does come with like the territory, but I will definitely be looking into them more. I've been obviously very interested in Thomas Marshall recently, and his like rift with Wilson. And I think my favorite vice president's probably Henry Wallace. So far, I love him. Of course, a little too cozy with the Soviet Union, which is like the biggest fear about him. But I think he was still pretty cool. Let's see, 13 Fahrenheit and snowing right now. Warmest it's been all week. Oh, I hope you're surviving out there. I know the wind chill can get worse too. Yeah, no, for me it has been like 80 plus degrees, and I have to like wait for my car to just cool down, blast the air conditioner before I can actually drive home from school every day. It's wild. And Seagull has visited Charles de Gaulle's house. It's beautiful. You're very lucky. I'm assuming it's in France, right? That's where his, like, or is it a different home? Oliver and Lover says Maine feels really warm during the summer, but that's probably just because I don't go south often. Oh, fair. Yeah. I went to Florida for one summer because I was traveling with my dad, and it was like bad. It was really bad. I have asthma, so what do you call it? Like the humidity was not great. I think I'm gonna redo the sky maybe. I'm just feeling a little goofy right now. Yeah, it's a French village in the country. Sweet, that's nice. Sounds very cozy. My other half sister. So I basically have two half sisters, two half brothers. But like my half sister, one of them, she studied for her master's degree in like southern France, in like this little village, and I'm like, dang, like she would be posting about like her outings after class, and I'm like, wow, like girl, you are in heaven right now, aren't you? And like she'd always like post about her like cat running around in the fields. I'm like, that's heaven right there. But it is it. Color pick that. I'm getting lazy. I'm just gonna start color picking. Do you guys have any other questions from me, by chance? It also has the golf course where George W. Bush said, "Now watch this drive." Yes, iconic. That is so iconic. You know, yes, I do. I do enjoy this this crayon brush for everything. Town has a museum and Raysbury too. Oh, nice. I love visiting historic graves. I remember like walking up to the Harding Memorial and was just like blown away by the sheer size of it, and like the little details that went into the design. Like I was like kind of sad, obviously, because this is where my fixation is, but no, it was just like it really struck like a sense of awe into me. Hello, Battle Pig. How are you doing? Been a while since we talked. There we go. Trying to unify all the colors now. Sometimes historical graves are in the most random places in cemeteries. Yes, exactly. I've used Find a Grave to like literally find the exact coordinates and then I put them into Google Maps. It's kind of goofy. Sorry for muting for a second. I am also like trying to have dinner right now while I draw. But yeah. Freezing up cold here in Massachusetts, but good. Yeah. Yay. I love New England. I am such a New England fan. Like, it is beautiful, and I really want to go. I can honestly see myself living there, probably. But I think that, well, obviously Chicago is going to be my home for the next 4 years. When I was, okay, Olive Garden Lover 23 says, when I was looking for Charles Francis Adams graves, it was so hard to find. Yeah. Like, I get lost in cemeteries. De Gaulle stood out because it was literally the least ornate grave in the village cemetery. Ah, interesting. Very humble then. Like, for such a, you know, famous guy, it's interesting when they have very humble graves. Kind of like Coolidge, honestly. Quindecker says multitasking. Yes, I am always multitasking. When I'm not looking at, like, the stream chat, I'm also, like, going between reference sites right now. I have a bunch of tabs open. 1 second, guys. Hi, Mommy.
Hi.
I'm just doing
Did you eat?
Yeah.
You haven't?
Oh, here. No, it's right here.
Okay.
I'm just doing a live stream of my art and, like, giving commentary. Sorry, I'm back now. I don't know if you guys heard, like, my mom come in. She was just wondering if I ate, and yes, I have been eating dinner. I have been staying nourished. You know what? I feel a lot more productive when I draw on stream, because y'all are watching, and I'm like, ooh, I actually have to do something. What did Olive Red and Lover say? Oh, okay. The only grave I ever visited that was easy to find was Franklin Pierce. Oh, interesting. Seagull asks, favorite thing you're looking forward to in Chicago? That's a difficult one, actually. I think I'm excited to join the Historical Costuming Society over there because they mostly focus on Victorian through 1920 stuff from what I've heard and seen pictures of. Like, I feel like that's going to be more of my people than here in SoCal, where people are mostly into, like, anything from the 40s to the 70s, I would say. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in Chicago. Also looking forward to brutal winters. I think time passes by weirdly when you live in a place that just does not really have seasons. Like, it being perpetually summer here, it kind of does feel like purgatory sometimes. But I will count my blessings that I'm not freezing. Okay, Battle Fixes. I did a semester in London and lived right next to the cemetery with Marx's grave as he sculptures. Ah, interesting. I was in London recently, and I thought about visiting his grave, but like the cemeteries were just a bit far out from where I was, so it's unfortunate. I hope you had a fun semester in London. That does sound really cool. I've been thinking about doing a study abroad for a summer. If you're into historical graves, go to... Oh, Dawes is buried in Chicago. Interesting. I did not know that. I am into historical graves. I always like take a photo when I see one. And ideally I want to start leaving flowers and stuff, but I'm kind of broke right now. It was negative 30 degrees last week. Ooh, yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm excited, I guess, hopefully. We'll see if I survive. If you have any coat recommendations, please let me know, because I only have, like, standard, like, wool overcoats, but I know I'm going to need, like, more layers. You went to study abroad in Ireland for 2 weeks in summer. Ooh, that's awesome. I think my school will offer programs in Prague and Scotland, and I think there's one in Ireland, and then some in Korea, from what I remember. I think I'm probably gonna choose London, because it's somewhere I still want to explore more of. Let's see. Trying to make the waves feel more three-dimensional. Let's see, what is... Okay, Battle Pig says, I personally recommend studying abroad in London, although my experience was not exactly typical. I was accepted as a mid-year to my college, so my very first semester was abroad. Actually, hold on. Battle Pig, can I DM you? Because I think I know which college you're talking about, because some of my friends got accepted into a very similar program. So, hold on, let me slide over. Notifications chat. There we go. Also, guys, real quick, shout out to Battle Pig for being a great voice actor. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, just answering DMs. Cool. Okay. Of course, of course. Anybody got questions or anything? Just trying to keep the conversation flowing. Uh-oh, did I just lose that color? No. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Already.
Okay. Sorry, I just got back. Yeah, I arrived a bit late to stream. What are you drawing? I am actually drawing a environmental scene in Maine, set in Maine, supposedly, in the winter time. Just something a little environmental for maybe one of my OCs that I might draw on top of it. I've been challenging myself to explore background design recently, because that is something I really, really struggle with.
Like, I feel like I've done so many character designs, but not enough, like, background stuff that like, my portfolio isn't as well-rounded as it could be or should be to get a industry job. Yeah, job hunt is scary. Oh, hi, Mick. Hi, Uvi. How are you doing? Just saw your message in chat. This is actually gonna kill me. I don't know how I'm gonna go about approaching the. Okay, new question. Thoughts on Zachary Taylor? I'd say he's pretty similar to Harding in the sense that he was a tragic president who wasn't able to get much done in a short time as POTUS. You know what? Unfortunately, I feel like I just have not researched enough on Zachary Taylor to really know what he did. I just know that he was a Whig, and that my engineering teacher is a direct descendant of him, which is interesting. Yeah. Oh, and thank you. Makes sense. Yes. I think I'm gonna draw the tree first before I handle the fence, because the fence is gonna deal with a lot more weird perspective than this tree will. I don't know if I want to draw birch because they kind of stand straight up, and I wanted to add more character to this tree. So we're just gonna draw a generic tree. I will let the biologist try to figure out what I am drawing. No object to transform. Okay. Good thing that layer is clear. And what color should I use for this? Kind of tempted to go with start off with a dark blue for this tree. That is not dark blue. There we go. Something maybe along these lines. Sorry, I wish I could play music for you guys. Just so it's a little more entertaining while I'm not talking. What are my thoughts on current country humans? Okay, so to be fair, I just don't really know much about country humans. I did draw a couple of them in middle school because that's what my friend's fandom was, and I just made some gifts for her. I think country humans are cool. I have nothing against them. I think it's a very interesting concept. I do want to see more country humans that aren't just like a country, like the versions of the country humans where their heads are just like the flags. Like a sphere with flags. Like I like how your Mick. I like how your country humans like actually have distinct faces and like styles. But I noticed with like a lot of other country humans artists, it's like the default outfit's usually just a hoodie. But I do like to see more cultural stuff incorporated into the actual country humans. Sorry if that did not make sense. Yeah, overall, I think country humans artists are cool, and you guys come up with some pretty unique concepts. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Seagull, I missed your question. I'm very sorry. Tips for getting to digital art. Honestly, I think a lot of traditional skill, like I will actually say that a lot of traditional skills do apply to digital art. Well, personally, I do digital art that resembles traditional art, so I do a lot of layering. Previously, I used to work with a lot less layers than I actually do. Now I just want to like learn to separate things and whatnot.
I would say, like, it doesn't even have to be any expensive software or equipment. I think that, like, you could start off, like, I think that a basic Wacom without a screen will take you very far. Like, I know, like, professional artists who just still use that. I personally just like I love my Huion. It was only $100 for a refurbished one, actually. So I like this one because of the fact that it just has a screen and I don't have to do any fancy hand-eye coordination things. And software-wise, I would recommend, if you want to get into digital art, probably Procreate if you're using an iPad. Using an iPad, Procreate there. I don't like IBIS Paint much. It's just really laggy and full of ads and not really worth it for me. If you can afford it, Clip Studio Paint is definitely like the best option, I would say. If you want to have like a bunch of features and very smooth performance. Some free software on desktop, though, I would say are Metabang, which I've heard is good, and I think Krita's, yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I am trying to fix something. Okay, Olive Garden Lover says, do you have any feelings on Miles Poindexter and his relationship with Harding? I'm really fascinated with their relationship, even though there's no real record that they were friends. To be fair, I do not know that much about Miles Poindexter in general, unfortunately, nor his relationship with Harding, but now, like, that actually makes me want to look into it. I think one thing that I'm just not as knowledgeable about Harding are his actual friends, or I guess acquaintances, but I've seen Poindexter's name mentioned a lot in various books. I will say that. I just don't personally have an opinion on him yet. Battlefield says, since you mentioned it, any plans to continue Executive Resurrection? Yes, there are big plans to continue Executive Resurrection. It's on hiatus right now because I'm doing a lot of rewrites. I realized that some of the plot just didn't really sit right with me. And I realized that it's not going to be like a fully animated series, like as I was kind of pitching a few months ago. It will have animated sections. It will have episodes like the one we recorded. But I think most of the story will now be told on the website because I wanted to make it so that like the audience is actually immersed in the story as, for example, like the kind of role-playing, to say at least, as one of the employees at the Clay Jennings Institute. And I thought that would be a much better way to present it, just as like a company portal website that you just explore and go through and get like notifications for when certain like quote unquote events are happening in universe. So it'll be more of like a game format, I would say, just online, kind of similar to Dear Clarent. That's kind of the direction I'm going with this. But I will still record episodes because I feel like those, like the video aspect is still important to the immersiveness of this world. Sorry, I feel like that was long-winded. But yes, I do have many plans to continue with it. Seagull asks, I use Krita and there's so many features. Yeah, like, I feel like Krita apparently seems very similar to Clip Studio Paint. I actually started using Clip Studio Paint over Krita just because of the fact that my Wacom, my old one, came with Clip Studio Paint. Yeah. But I think both are good. And I feel like any software can work very well if as long as you have like fundamentals down. Oliver and Lover says they were almost certainly friends in Senate since they were both the same circles, but they ran turning against it, which I think probably ruined. Well, to be fair, Harding did run against a lot of people, and I don't think he had any like hard feelings towards anyone. Based on what I've read about him, he didn't really see politics as like a very like brutal competition, and I don't think he would have ever tried to like cut off someone for that. Like his whole thing was just that he wanted to be friends with literally everyone. The relationship with Tricky Crazy, that was Point ambassador to Peru. He probably felt like he owed him after Poindexter lost re-election. Maybe. I see where you're going with that. I will look into that actually. But yeah, I don't really see Harding having any grudges against anyone. Like even with Charles Forbes, Charles Forbes literally freaking robbed the VA, and Harding did. I mean, I guess he did try to beat him up, but he did let him flee to Europe, so I don't think it would have been a big problem.
Where's your mom?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm talking right now. Sorry, you guys might have heard my grandma. Let's see. Getting appointed ambassador to some random ass country is the most classic example of patronage. Exactly. Guiteau wanting to be appointed minister to France. Many such cases. I must confess I like Eisenhower so much because of his relationship with de Gaulle. No, that's valid. I like people who are associated with my current favorite people too. So I was to have Rahm Emanuel become ambassador to Japan. Real. God, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like very not well kept up with modern politicians and like appointment names. I feel like when it comes to anything past the 1950s, I just feel like it's so recent, and it almost gets awkward for me to research it. Though I do want to be more informed, of course. Also, I feel like I'm kind of bad with names in general, so sorry if I don't recognize anyone. Right, yeah. I'm on the right. Oopsies, Mayor Chicago. Thoughts on Kazan 2025? I'm so sorry, Mick. I haven't seen it yet. I'm due to watch it. It's been on my list. I've honestly not watched many movies recently. I will let you know as soon as I watch it, though. Yeah, I've simultaneously, I guess, been busy and not busy at the same time. Senior year is kind of like that, I guess. It's like I have so much to do, yet also nothing. And I have no energy. Same, it's like researching de Gaulle's presidency feels weird. Yeah. Anything post 50s is like, oh wow, that happened yesterday, even though I'm literally the youngest person ever. I like the idea of having this tree have like a branch that just kind of broken off. Something like that. No, that doesn't look broken off enough. More scraggly. There we go. Oh yeah, just to let anyone in the chat know, like, since I don't think you guys were here at the beginning of the stream, I did announce that I am kind of taking a soft break from social media. Like, I will still be posting, but I will not be as active, like posting stories and stuff. I need like a break. I feel fried. Oh wait, let's see. This may interest you. One of my friends considered me to be a research assistant for an adaptation of a Shakespeare play transferred to the 1950s and 60s. Ooh, that's awesome. I love when older stories get translated like that. I love adaptations. Maybe not like Disney's live action remakes because they don't add anything new to the story really, but I do like recontextualization of stories. I have a friend actually, she's like her senior thesis project at art school is doing like visual development for a version of The Great Gatsby set in 1950s LA, and it looks amazing so far. Understandably, yeah. Let's try this again. Wow, it is only 8:16 p.m. right now for me. Well, I'm obviously in a fake time zone according to most of my East Coast friends, but alas. I usually go to bed like around 11 to 12-ish, and I know I should be going to bed earlier because I wake up at like 6:30. So I'm going to try to work on that. That's also one of the reasons why I deleted social media apps off my phone. Just to get myself back on track. Mick says, I went to Quezon City once, and the buildings there remind me of 920s Art Deco architecture.
Oh, interesting. I want to visit now. Maybe next time I visit my dad in the Philippines, I'll head over there and take a look. But my dad is visiting me this year, so there's that. Mm-hmm. 6:30. Yeah. I have to drive to school and it takes me about like 25 to 30 minutes. And school starts at 8:45. It's just that I take forever to get ready, man. Like, it's not funny. Like, I will literally, like, even if I'm not on my phone, I will just sit around and just wake up. Let's see. Time to layer this up with the next layer of. So yeah, there's that at least. I think in college I will not be waking up so early. I've talked to like some people who go to Art Institute Chicago, and they said that their freshman year, their first class is usually at like 9 to 9:30 or 9 or 9:30 a.m. So hopefully I'll be able to get those. I don't want any 8 a.m.s to start off with. Like, I think that might kill me. But yeah, it's real as hell though. Yeah, I'm low-key a lazy bum sometimes. Also, I have to factor in like my morning cafe runs. Yeah, I'm thinking about opening up like sketch commissions again, just so I could afford like daily tea and or coffee. Ooh, that tree's looking good now.
I was supposed to be taking 8:30 this semester. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, honestly, good for you. Good for you. Spare your health. Yeah, spare your health, man. It's a good thing. My registrations, like, for classes starts up in April, I think, because I applied early action and I committed early action. So I will try my best to get like classes that aren't like time inefficient, because I also need a job. I'm planning on getting a campus job, like ideally at the Art Institute Chicago Museum, because I need extra money right now, and I also need work experience, because I'm thinking about like, instead of just being an art major, I kind of want to go into like curatorial and museum studies, so I can work with like historical artifacts, and like that would be probably like a day job for me. I get that both don't pay much, but like obviously I want like a stable job and not just have to freelance all the time.
Seagull says you only have to wake up if you have 8 a.m.s, but you shouldn't have to get up at 6:30
unless you can. Yeah. Fortunately, my dorm is only like 2 blocks from my main building, so that's good. And yeah, that's actually why I chose Art Institute Chicago. It's the fact that it's in the city and I need somewhere walkable. I feel too sedentary here in urban sprawl, California.
Industrial history. There's an industrial history museum from Watch Factory very close to my school that's offering job shadowing. Ooh, yeah, dude, like, you should do that. You should try it.
That's very cool. Yeah, I do know of a pocket watch company from Massachusetts, so that's interesting. I hate drawing trees. They're one of my least favorite things to draw. But alas, I do appreciate nature.
The Watch Factory, yeah. Seagull says Chicago has cool museums.
Yes, it does. They have like over 80, I think, in the city. So I have a lot of choices. My school counselor has been suggesting that, like, in college, I aim to get an internship at the Obama library, which I could see that happening, especially because they have positions open for, like, artists who want to, like, design interactive exhibits, which is my thing. Conducting yourself, well, whatever. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think anyone was coming after you. But yeah, back to Chicago, though. I found out from a friend recently that the original Hamilton Burr dual pistols are in Chicago, which is at some random hotel, which is awesome. Speaking of random hotels in that city, I really want to visit the Blackstone Hotel where Harding was supposedly nominated by the Big Boss. I don't think I believe the smoke-filled room story. I know that they did meet in a smoke-filled room, but I just don't think that, like, Harding was necessarily nominated there. It's good pop culture, pop history, though. I will genuinely just leave the tree, like, half bare like this. I'm gonna give up on this in a second. There we go. Trying to balance it out. Maybe add some, like, deeper blue here. Yeah. I wish I could have gone to the Walt Disney birthplace, but I didn't last time. Wait, can we talk about the design of the Obama library? Yeah. How do we feel about this? How do you feel about it? I can't say it's my favorite design. It is very modern. It looks like a giant evil tower. I can't lie. But I'm here for the internship opportunities, man. It's too bad the Chicago Coliseum, where the convention actually place was torn down. Yeah, I know, right? But what's interesting about that, I was doing some research, and the Chicago Coliseum was, like, well, where it stood, that address is right down the same street as my college, which is really funny. And where the Art Institute stands today is where I believe the building where Garfield was nominated stands. Battlepix says it kind of feels like a villain layer looming over the city. No, exactly. Yeah. It feels really weird. Very cartoonish. Another layer of blue. Hold on. You guys might hear me eating for a second. I'm really hungry. I finished eating some seared tuna, but I still have my potatoes left over from this Uber Eats order that I got with it. Oh yeah, this smells good. I need to come up with some ways to really entertain myself besides social media, because I feel like my brain has been cooked by doom scrolling recently. And I did mention at the beginning of the stream, but it's just like, it's finding ways to just not miss it, I think. It's gonna be the hard part. Like, deleting the app's easy, but then finding, like, the withdrawals. Oh my god, I sound like an addict right now. But yeah, I guess it is sort of like that. Finding alternatives will definitely make things easier for me. I do have some books to read. I have to finish reading the rest of The Bloviator by Jim Yoakum for my AP literature class, but also just in general because I love books about Harding. I actually emailed the author of The Bloviator, Jim, and he responded so fast. It was kind of hilarious. Like, it was only about, like, a 2-hour wait. And he was very nice. He was giving me writing advice and whatnot. So there's that. If there's one thing you guys want to know about me, it's that I love sending emails. I love cold emailing people. Not gonna lie, I need to take a social media break too. Yeah, right now, just especially because, like, everything going on, I feel like there's a lot of information overload on my end, at least. And I feel like I've just been comparing my art recently to others, and that's not fair to myself because I'm on my own journey, you know. I want to get my spark back in terms of just enjoying things in general, not being, like, frustrated all the time. That's pretty good. Let's see how it looks like this. Yes, I like how crisp it is. Real. I still need to, so y'all, I still need to read that book you you recommended to me in my review video. I also need to make more book reviews in general. I have some ideas for like different Harding biographies I want to review. My friend and I were going to be making a video soon where we're just ranking the prettiest presidents, because why not? Like we're trying to balance like the serious stuff with the silly stuff. Because I think we need to cheer people up right now. But I think that's gonna be a fun video to make. She's a JFK fan, so obviously I know her. I know what her tier list is gonna look like, but tee. Wonderful, the world feels like it's falling apart right now. And the reason why I feel that way is because of the fact that social media moguls profit off of our frustration, our sadness, our anger, everything. They profit off strong emotions because it makes us want to post or interact, and that gives them profit. Lets them sell things to us more easily. People are more influenced, more willing to buy things when they feel like they have a problem. So, yeah, that's definitely another reason why I want to take a break.
Seagull says Grant better be in top tier. I'll run Lover 23 says Franklin Pierce is up there. Yes, I agree with both of y'all. I'm not going to reveal my rankings, obviously, because that's going to be the video, but it'll be interesting. I have some hot takes, I guess. Without spoiling too much. Yeah, I guess it looks decent. Should I add some red? Oh, wrong brush. No, that kind of breaks the immersion of it. You're doing a personal historical crush tier list, as you should. That's the fun part. I love when, I guess history is like full of like dark and awful things, but I think it's fun when people also use history as a point of humor and a point of like enjoyment. Because like I said, we need joy right now. Wow, I'm so sorry I've been taking like forever on like this piece. This was only supposed to be like a 2-hour warm up. But yeah, I guess I wanted to go all out with it. Against, if it turns out well, I'm going to put out my portfolio. So yay! I have a cup of tea sitting next to me right now that I just haven't taken a sip out of, and I made it like a couple hours ago, so now it's like cold and gross. I might reheat it, but yeah. That looks a lot better. We're gonna add some snow around the base of it to make it look more blent in. I don't know how like the shadow of this tree is gonna work, because it's like very flat lighting, from the best I could say describing overcast. Let's see, how are the shadows? Yeah, like very muted shadows in some of these. That one doesn't, the tree itself barely even has shadow there, so I think I'm gonna kind of ignore it for now. Let's see what else I have to do. Okay, now I see what's missing from this. The tree will probably have some roots behind it. Yes, perspective. Wow, great. I actually, when I'm working, I usually do talk myself through the art process if I'm not around a bunch of people. Or I guess if I'm on stream too, but like, if I'm not around a bunch of people, I will talk myself through the process. Wait, can I ask a stupid question? Yes, you can. You can absolutely ask a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question for me, because I ask worse questions. So yes, go ahead. Ask your quote unquote stupid question. If you're from Cali, have you ever seen snow IRL? Yes, I have. But so California, we actually do have a bit of snow up in the mountains. About 2 hours from LA, we have Big Bear, which is kind of actually a ski area, interesting enough. And I've been there a few times. Also up in Lake Tahoe, like NorCal in general, have some snowy areas. I also travel a lot, so I do see snow, especially during like winter, because most of my travels are in winter. And that's why I love it. I've been in a snowstorm before, and I liked it. Unfortunately, like, it's weird. But yes, I have seen snow, and it's very fun. I do go skiing sometimes too, in various areas.
looks a lot more natural. Fence time. Not looking forward to doing the fence, but whatever. Where's my fence? There it is. Yes. Okay. So I think I'm actually gonna go with like a deeper red for this. It's fun when you're not digging your car out of snow. Exactly. I mean, I hate driving in general. But yeah, like I think moving to a city like Chicago will be kind of fun because it's like I will definitely feel brutal winter and I will have fun in the snow. But at least I don't have a car to take care of. 'Cause yeah, I do have a car right now and it's a good car. I just again don't find the same joy in driving that a lot of my friends do, unfortunately. Have you ever played 1920 Return to Normalcy or 1920 Silent Decade on the Campaign Trails Showcase? I have played both 1920 and 1924. I actually got Debs to win 1920 one time, and I was just like, wow, it took me like 5 tries, by the way. I can't lie. Whenever I'm bored and I just want something like easy to do, I will just play Return to Normalcy as Harding and like win in ridiculous, stupid ways. Because I like pretending to be his campaign manager. I feel like I could do better than Doherty or Hayes. That's my red flag. You gotta have one driving friend in friend group. Yep, that's me right now. Yeah, I feel you. I don't drive people around, but not many of my friends have cars anyways, so I guess I'm the driving friend, and I don't like to drive because it's scary. I know Angelinos always complain about the traffic, but it is true. It's brutal out here. Driving to my friend's house, which is like 30 minutes away, without traffic, by the way, is scary. Like, there's this one section, this one city that I have to go through, and it's like, these people, I feel like it's their first day on earth sometimes. They will swerve, they will cut in front of you. It's crazy out there. Didn't Smoke fill room and Richard to nominate Hayes? I don't think so. No, not Will Hayes. Because I don't think Will Hayes is. Yeah, as far as my knowledge goes, it was not Will Hayes who was originally about to be nominated. You know what's interesting? If I could have any other person actually get nominated in 1920, I think I would have actually wanted Hoover. I know I guess it's kind of a hot take, but I think that Hoover could have gone down as like a pretty good president if he just if he was president like almost any other time. Battlefield says my aunt used to live in LA. She commuted 1 hour 30 minutes each way for her old job. Yep, that's normal here. Traffic is bad, and everything's spread out. So I love urban sprawl. Driving Ohio is pain, I'm sure. When I went to the Harding house, my friend was the driver, and we were going back to my aunt's place to drop me off, and we had like Google Maps told us to go through the countryside and not on the freeway, but it was beautiful, but like all those little turns at like the most random places and like tight roads were kind of scary. And also the fact that they were like pretty fast lanes, pretty fast roads too, with like a speed limit of like 60 sometimes. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Let's see. Yeah, guys, I am at a point where I'm just giving up on perspective. George Harvey favored Will Hayes president in 2020. Could be wrong. Interesting. Was it only Harvey who favored Will Hayes? I mean, I'm kind of glad we did not get the universe where Will Hayes was president. Like, he does not seem very charming. Battleflake says, I avoid driving in NYC Boston whenever possible. The metro systems here are pretty full. Yes, I've heard wonderful things about the Boston metro systems, and I envy y'all. I am too scared to go on the LA Metro. I've been on it like twice, but like the first time I got held at gunpoint. The second time, it just smelled bad and like it was very scary. Would not recommend. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, no, getting held at gunpoint was like the scariest thing ever. I was like, oh, I don't think it's my time to go yet. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not my time to go. And this was in 8th grade, by the way. Like, it was for a field trip, and it was just a bunch of like 13, 14-year-old girls on the metro with like 2 chaperones, and then like this crazy guy like who genuinely had a gun. So yeah, that was an experience for sure. Experience for sure. But just another day in LA. Cincinnati shouldn't have abandoned their subway system, and Columbus needs one. True. I love Columbus as a city though. Like it's pretty. I do like. I think if it had like a subway system that would absolutely be cracked, that would be amazing. And I think I would move there. You see, like I've been thinking about like again, like I'm thinking about my future a lot. And part of me is like, ooh, maybe I kind of want to move to Columbus after college, get an apartment, and like work for the Ohio History Connection, because I feel like most everything I want, like history wise, and also like the kind of job, archival work. But you know, never know how plans are going to change in 4 years. Yeah, very urban sprawly when I went. It felt a little bit like LA. Come to the Northeast. I know, like I'm so conflicted. Like I really like I love both the Midwest and the Northeast. You can't beat the New England fall, honestly. From what I've seen, like it's heavenly. I could see myself fitting in Boston pretty well. I thought about applying to some colleges in Boston, but they are all really competitive, and I was just like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna get into any of them. And I did not like the Massachusetts Arts campus, so unfortunately, did not apply there. But yeah. I really wanted to apply to Tufts actually, but it was way too expensive for me. My like final price would have come out to like $100,000 a year, which I cannot afford that now. I did not get any financial aid. I actually know people with the Ohio History Connection, but they mainly have volunteer jobs except for some positions. Interesting. I feel like it would be a very interesting experience to go there for a summer internship. Mick asked, what do I think about 6-7? I think it's stupid. I think it's funny, but it's also stupid. It's peak like surreal modern comedy. I guess. Don't really have strong feelings about it. I will say it sometimes just to rage bait my friends, but again, not any big opinions. Ooh, this is actually so cooked. There we go. That looks a lot smoother. But yeah, I do have an internship offer from the from Harding Presidential Site. It's kind of very informal. He just had to email like my research advisor set like things like I guess he's impressed by my knowledge. But he wants me to email him when I'm in college and I'm ready for an internship, because he wants to set me up with like something there. I think it'd be cool if I could do like an artist in, not exactly in residence, but like visiting artist thing there. To make it my Harding fan art official. But yeah, Battle Books have a good friend at Tough Life is pretty often. Yeah, it's a nice school. I wanted to do their double degree program, but yeah, again, too expensive, as in most schools were. I was really panicking over scholarships this year. It was not. I mean, I'm fortunate that I got scholarships at all my schools, but I really wanted to go to Tufts so badly. But they did not do merit stuff. Okay, let's see about this perspective now. I don't know, man. Higher education in the U.S. is ridiculous. Like price-wise. Like, I guess I could have done community college, but I go to a very competitive high school, and I probably would have been shunned if I did that. And I feel like it's not even a bad decision. Like, community college is great, but yeah, pressure. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. State of education is too expensive right now. I feel bad for like a lot of people who are just also unable to go to like art school, for example, because it's just a lot, and they don't get much financial aid. I attended a year of community college. Nice, nice. That's cool. I thought 6'7" is a Roblox meme because I have younger siblings and it reached to my friend's story because her 6'7" told me crying. Real. Low-key, I'm applying to programs in Ireland because it's cheaper. That's honestly a good idea. And Ireland is really cool. History and like history, culturally, scenery-wise, Ireland's awesome. So I hope you get it and I hope you have fun. Yeah, my half-sister, her program in France was $13,000 a year, which is more expensive than like her entire college degree in the Philippines. So I'm like, dang, I think I might have it the worst out of all my family members in terms of paying. Fortunately, I'm not going to be going into any debt really. But yeah, it's so wild. One of my dreams still is to do like a master's at Yale, but I know that's going to be impossible. Yale or Tufts or God forbid I say, but like Harvard would be awesome. But like no, my true love is Yale. Do you know when Ireland after college? Yeah. Ireland has like the base salary for artists, right? Like that's huge. I hope I do get hired at an art studio eventually. Because yes, curation and preservation will be a day job for me, but obviously I still want to pursue art for sure. Big question: Seahawks or Patriots in the Super Bowl? Girl, I don't know anything about football. I know my friend hates the Patriots, so I'm just gonna say Seahawks. On behalf of my friend. Also, I can get a 50-euro Ryanair flight to Paris. Nice. Yes, that's true. Dude, Ryanair was kind of scary when I flew back from Britain. Yeah, that was kind of terrifying. But like, they're a solid airline. Like, you got that. I think Ryanair is like the equivalent of like Spirit Airlines over in Europe. Yeah. Well, Mick, I hope you can get to Ireland though. That will definitely be fun. I guess due to my interest, I'm probably just gonna have to stay in the USA for the most part. But I do want to travel a lot. Yes, that is still on my radar. Yeah. Let me ask you guys, what else are you guys up to? Anything y'all are looking forward to soon?
February break starting on the 13th, and I'm visiting friends sitting abroad in UK, Netherlands. Nice. Hope you have fun. Yeah, not much coming up for me. I moved to Lisbon. We going to college, homes in Vermont. Yes. I hope you have fun there too. I think the only thing really coming up for me is spring break at the end of March. Well, besides the birthday, spring break coming at the end of March, and I'm going to be going to Washington D.C. and I'm going to be absolutely raiding the National Archives gift shop because apparently that's a really good gift shop. So I'm interested. In college, I'm taking animation course and I've been an anime lesson. Sorry if I... Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it can be very tiring to animate all the time. Mick, are you an animation major or is that just a course you're taking? Like, what's your major? I'm just curious. Ah, he's a prof, yeah. Multimedia arts. Okay, yeah, I guess that's similar to what I'm doing. Doing new media and interactive design, and then I guess we don't really have real majors at where I'm going, so I'm gonna I'm getting a bachelor's in fine arts, but my concentrations are new media, animation, and history/politics. So it'll be interesting. Well, it's not even like an actual history major. It's just called design and politics, but that involves like a lot of history, I think. So I just call it a history concentration. I'm a little sleepy, but I think I'm gonna stay on call. Stay on stream a little bit longer, probably to like 9:30-ish or until I finish this. Looking forward to hearing back from grad school. Will probably be 2 months. Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. Anti-furry professor is a driving profit freshman year. Yeah, funny. I don't know. Yeah, guys, I will admit I'm just very scared for college. Like, it's going to be a big change. New city, new people. I mean, my whole thing obviously was like, I just want to leave where I am. But, you know, my whole life has been here. It's going to be crazy. I major in political science, specifically campaign management. My line of work depends on this country still being democracy. I'm dead, bro. That's hilarious. I hope everything goes well for you. Yeah. Wait, campaign management's awesome. I didn't even know that's a major. What the hell, man? I do want to, like, one of my projects that I want to do is design a campaign. I'm just very interested in the branding of it all. So, dude, your major's awesome. You're so fun. Yeah, I'm hoping. Fortunately, I was able to pick some really good roommates. One of them is someone that I've known forever, and then another person is just another history nerd that I found in the server for admitted students. Nick says, I have to deal with graphic design. Oh no, graphic design is tough. I hate when people assume that illustrators are just naturally good at graphic design because it's a completely different, or pretty different skill set, I'd say. What color did I use for that? Okay, no, that's stupid. There we go. Got a little pinkish to that. From communication, so yeah. Very disciplinary. Oh, multidisciplinary. That's cool. My dad helped volunteer in cafes in the 80s and 90s. Oh, you guys have such cool lore. My only campaign experience is for a local candidate who did not win. But he was very cool. I came up with this slogan. Yeah, actually, the candidate I volunteered for, this is for a mayoral run, by the way. His parents, his parents run the LA Progressive newspaper, which I thought was actually insane. And I was like, hey, like I was like, hey, can I possibly get a job as a political cartoonist? And when I'm in college, and they were like, yeah, like absolutely. So I
I think I might back out of that because I'm like, ooh, being political cartoonist right now seems very risky and very tiring, like emotionally. So not sure, but I'm glad that's an opportunity that has presented itself at least. Enter several offices are so much lower. Nice. I think. Sorry, 1 second. Just trying to figure this thing out a bit. In the fall, I was deputy campaign manager for a school committee campaign in my area. On election night, the city said he lost, but it turned out they left test ballots in the system and actually he won. That's crazy work. I'm sorry, that's kind of hilarious. I'm sure that must have been like kind of frightening though. Oh wait, sorry, you deleted that. My bad. Yeah, let's see. I can imagine, yeah. Oof. I do not want to go to school tomorrow. It's been very tiring to go to school recently. Just not much happening. It's dreadful. I have a statistics class that I just loathe. And I don't, like, I'm going to be, like, completely honest. I just don't have that many friends at school because I don't really share interests with most of these people. It is a STEM school, so everyone there is mostly interested in engineering and whatnot. Yeah. I think this semester is really just about like me trying to like get my energy back and focus back. Just trying to like not like rot around until graduation, you know? STEM schools will start, yeah. It's its own big thing, but whatever. We ball, we survive, and we thrive in the end, I think. I think I'm thriving, hopefully. Ugh. That should not be so thick. Okay, let's see. Even my grandpa babysat one on the British. Huh, nice. That's cool, bro. Is senior ice hitting? Yes, it is absolutely hitting. Like, save me. I don't want to do anything besides draw. I mean, like, half the time I just don't even want to draw either because I'm just so tired and bored. But I know I need to draw to, like, for my own sanity, you know? Yeah. Fortunately, like, if I just keep my grades, I'll probably, like, the lowest grade I'll probably have is, like, a 3.75 GPA by the end of the semester, which means I still get, like, I think, top honors or something like that. So we'll be fine. It's just boring. Which is why I kind of want to do more streams soon. And that's why I'm making YouTube videos now. Because I have nothing else to do. Which is funny. Not senioritis, yeah. I feel like the next few months are gonna go by pretty fast because January went by in the blink of an eye, so I think I'll be able to last. Let me fix that. You know what? Let's add some blue highlights to this. I'm scared to stream. Hey, it's okay. For me, I've just treated streaming as just casually talking to people. It's my way of getting good social interaction in while also holding myself accountable for drawing. Yeah, for how the hell is it February? I don't know. Yeah. January 33, 2020, real. That's what it feels like. I guess for me it's January 32nd, because U.S. time zones. Alas. January is like the slowest, fastest month ever. I can't explain it. And I guess it's because like I was still on vacation for like a good chunk of it, the first third of it, so time again passes weirdly, especially when you live in an area that does not have seasons. Like a long vacation, I guess. Yeah. Oh, your birthday was January 30th. Oh, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Yay. Yeah, my birthday is happy belated birthday to both of you guys, by the way. Yeah, no, my birthday's February 22nd, which is Washington Day, which is funny. So it is approaching, and I don't know what I'm really gonna do for it. I think I'm just gonna hang out with a couple friends at some nice restaurant, probably go to like a jazz concert or something on that day, and just chill. And open a credit card or something. I don't know, man. Whatever I can do when I'm 18. Yep. Oh yes, Jay. Yes, I thought that was really funny that that you shared a birthday with the literal character you're voicing. No, that's hilarious. I chose that as Jay's birthday because that was the day that Jackson was like had that first assassination attempt. I was like, huh, that would be crazy. Really put, yeah. My friend blew up on TikTok one time with their UNR and people are arguing about genders of country humans. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, it's country humans. Like, they're literally countries. Like, I don't think they have gender. That is humorous, indeed. I don't like that branch there. No, those roots. But then that looks kind of awkward. Let's try this again. I do like the tree reaching out a little bit. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I'm reading the chat still. Sorry, guys. What's a reference photo layer? But I don't know what's on this layer. Huh, guess nothing. Huh. Oh, I hope you have time to draw her soon. That'd be cool. Sorry if my responses are getting drier. I am a little sleepy. I'm trying to power through this piece. Let's see. I think I'm gonna draw some snow on top of the fence. Where's the fence? Oh gosh, what layer did I put this thing on? Oh, it's top layer. I gotta go finish up a little bit class. Thank you very much. I hope your project goes well. Yay. Let's see. Multiply. Let's try this. We're gonna try to make. I hate using blending modes. Not that I have anything against them. It's just I really like to have a traditional feel with my art, and I feel like the blending modes kind of take away from a lot of it. See if we can still. Is that seafoam? Yes.
Anyone still here? Just curious. I will try to talk more. I'm gonna mute myself just for a little bit while I draw. Uh-oh, yeah. But yeah, anyways, I guess I'll stop streaming now. I think it's time for me to like head to bed. But it was nice talking to everyone here, and I hope you all have a great night, and I hope to stream again soon. Sorry, experiencing some technical difficulties, so I'll deal with that and I'll try to fix it for next time. But yeah, good night, y'all. Thank you for coming.